Dipole in a uniform electric field. Now we consider a permanent dipole of dipole moment P in a uniform electric field E, which is shown here in this figure. Okay, just first of all try to understand the direction of electric field is in this direction. So electric field is in this direction. Okay, and the dipole, that is plus q charge, is here, minus q charge is here. Now QE is the force on plus q charge and minus QE is the force on negative charge. Now try to understand, these two forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, and their line of action are anti-parallel. Okay, line of action are anti-parallel. Okay, so there is a force plus QE on plus q charge and minus QE on negative q charge. So net force on the dipole is 0, as this field is a uniform field. Okay, the charges are separated. So what will happen? Force act at different points, and because of this the dipole will experience the torque. So this dipole, okay, the force plus QE is in this direction, negative QE is in this direction. So net force is 0, but this will be experiencing, or this system of charges will experience QE force in this direction, minus QE in this direction. So it will rotate, okay, and experiences the torque. Okay, when the net force is 0, the torque, that is couple of the torque, is independent of origin. So this origin is not taken into consideration, or reference point is not required. Rather, when the net force is 0, there will be a torque, and this will be the couple of the torque, or we can say couple. Okay, its magnitude of the couple of the torque, as we have studied this thing in your 11th standard. Okay, the magnitude of the couple of the torque, okay, that is nothing but the product of magnitude of one of the force and the perpendicular distance between the two anti-parallel forces. Now try to understand, this is one force, this is the other force. So their line of action are this. Now perpendicular distance between these two line of action of force is multiplied by the magnitude of one of the force. Okay, now the electric field is in this direction, the angle here is theta. Okay, that is given to us. Okay, now if you take, say, these two lines are parallel and this becomes the transversal, try to understand, then this angle is, say, theta. Okay, then this angle, okay, I am showing it with a different color. Okay, this angle will also be theta. Okay, so this angle, try to understand, will be 90 minus theta. Now if you want to find this distance, okay, as this is your right angle triangle, okay, this is your right angle triangle, showing it with the different color again. Okay, this is the right angle triangle. Then this is your pi by 2 minus theta. So this will be theta. Okay, you want to find this distance. Okay, distance between the two charges of dipole, as you know, this distance. Okay, again I am showing it by different color. Okay, say this distance I am talking about. This distance is 2a. Now take cos theta. Okay, this consider this angle and take cos theta. Then cos theta is equal to, sorry, you should take sin theta. Sorry. Okay, you just take the sin theta because we want to find this particular length. Okay, so sin theta is opposite. Now opposite this we want to find, say we write x upon hypotenuse, that is 2a. So this x will be equal to 2a sin theta. It becomes 2a sin theta. So according to our rule, that couple of torque is equal to magnitude of one of the force. So magnitude of one of the force is QE multiplied by the perpendicular distance. Now if you take it this way, okay, then this will be the perpendicular distance, and that we found it is 2a sin theta. So it is multiplied by 2a sin theta, and if you rearrange it, then it becomes 2aq into E sin theta. Okay, now 2a into q is nothing but dipole moment P. So it becomes Pe sin theta. Okay, now both are vectors P and E, and they are multiplied with sin theta. So this must be a vector product. So you can write torque tau is equal to P cross E, and the direction of this torque can be found by using the right hand screw rule. Okay, so that part is explained here. QE into 2a sin theta, that is magnitude of torque. Okay, it becomes 2a QE sin theta, that is P sin theta. The magnitude of P cross E is nothing but P sin theta. So this torque can be written as tau is equal to P cross E. Okay. This torque, what will it do? It will try to align the dipole in the direction of electric field. When dipole moment is aligned with E, then the torque becomes 0, because this theta will become 0 when it aligns. Okay. So say for example, this is the direction of electric field. Okay, this is the direction of electric field, and the dipole was like this. Now this will try to align the dipole in the direction of electric field. So this dipole will rotate in this direction, or we can say in anti-clockwise direction, and it will get aligned in the direction of electric fields. Initially the angle was theta. Now when it aligns, then this goes this way, this comes this side. So what will happen? It will be in this direction, that is in the direction of electric field. So theta becomes 0. Okay. Now when there is a non-uniform electric field, now try to understand it this way. Okay. You have a non-uniform electric field. So the field lines will be like this. Here the field lines are close. Here the field lines are, say on left hand side the field lines are away from each other, and on right side the field lines are close to each other. You can see it here. So the intensity of electric field here on right hand side is strong, or we can say on right hand side the field is stronger than the electric field on left hand side. Now you place this dipole. This is your plus q charge, okay, and this is your minus q charge. Now as this electric field is from left to right, so plus q charge, okay, will experience the force in this direction, and the negative q will experience in this direction. Okay, so first of all the dipole will align in the direction of electric field. Pehlo કામ આ થશે, it will be aligned in the direction of electric field. Now this plus QE force is more than this negative QE force, or we can say plus Q charge of the dipole is experiencing more force than minus Q charge. So resultant force will be in the direction of the electric field where its intensity is stronger than the other part. So resultant force will be in this direction, that is towards right, because the intensity of electric field towards right is stronger. Okay, so what will happen? Now the dipole will experience the translational motion, or we can say it will experience linear motion. So whenever the dipole is placed in the non-uniform electric field, then first it will experience the rotational motion and it will align in the direction of electric field, and then after aligning, or during this process after aligning, then it will start moving on a linear path, or it will experience the translational motion. Okay, so this part is explained here. Consider the simpler situation when P is parallel to E, means direction of dipole moment is in the direction of electric field, or anti-parallel to E, that is on the opposite side. In either case the net torque is 0, but there is a net force on the dipole if electric field is not uniform. Okay, now we shall study the continuous charge distribution. Okay, first of all, line charge distribution. Now simple explanation goes like this: if the charges are arranged on one wire or on one line, okay, then this kind of charge distribution is line charge distribution. Say for example, the charge which is distributed on this line is Q, and the length of this particular line is L. Then charge per unit length, that is Q upon L, okay, is defined as linear charge density, which is denoted by lambda. Okay, consider a line element. So that I explained, the charge Q is distributed on this line. The charge per unit length is defined as linear charge density, which is denoted by lambda. Okay, so this you must remember. Okay, if delta Q is the amount of charge which is distributed on line element delta L, then the line charge density or linear charge density is lambda is equal to delta Q upon delta L. If we consider a line element delta L, okay, which is shown here, okay, just go through this figure. Okay, so this is the total line on which the charges are spread. Now if you consider a small segment here, okay, if I show it by different color, then this is a small segment which is considered here. Okay, so this is your line charge distribution, and small segment is considered here, that is of delta L. Now if there is a charge delta Q on this small segment, then according to our definition, okay, linear charge density lambda is equal to delta Q upon delta L. So delta Q will be equal to lambda into delta L. Okay, unit will be coulomb per meter, that is very easy to understand. Similarly, you have surface charge distribution. You consider a surface element. Okay, say for example you have one surface like this, you can consider, and charges are there on this surface. Okay. Now you consider a very small segment of this surface whose area is delta S. Now charge in this is say delta Q, then delta Q upon delta S, that is charge per unit area, is defined as surface charge density. Okay, it is denoted by sigma, so you can understand it easily. Sigma is equal to delta Q upon delta S. Okay. Now if you want to find small charge, that is delta Q in this small area of delta S, if surface charge density is sigma. Okay, surface charge density is sigma, that is charge per unit area, and you want to find out what is the charge in this blue colored marked surface, then that charge delta Q will be equal to sigma into delta S. Okay, unit you can understand coulomb per meter square. Okay, so that is easy to understand. Then it is volume charge density. Okay, consider a volume element, say delta V is the volume element, charge Q is distributed, then charge per unit volume is defined as volume charge density, which is denoted by rho. Okay, so if you prepare one topic, then 3 topics automatically will be prepared for you, or it can be understood easily. So charge per unit volume rho is delta Q upon delta V. Now if you want to find some charge in this particular volume, okay, say this is the volume element in which you want to find the charge, then delta Q is equal to rho into delta V will be the charge in it. Okay, unit will be coulomb per meter cube. Okay, so prepare all this theory, write 2-3 times, watch this video 2-3 times and learn it. Okay, thank you.